Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how to find the inverse by graphing this function f of x equals open parentheses 1 over 3x plus 2 close parentheses raised to the power of 2. We can tell that this is going to be a quadratic function when the exponent, because of the value of the exponent, which is 2. We can do two things first, either to expand the exponent by applying the exponent, or we can use the graphing calculator and type this format of function, and then we can graph to see how it looks like. If you were to expand this function, it will be f of x is equal to 1 over 9 x squared plus 4 over 3x plus 4. Then we can use a graphing calculator to graph this function. Now on the graphing calculator, what we have to do here is to press this button, y equals, and you can see already here that I have already inputted the expanded function, and then we can press graph. As we graph the function, you can see that the left side of the graph goes out of bounds, so we can adjust it by pressing the window button, and there you will see how many x-intercepts can be shown in the screen on others. Look where it says x min or x minimum, which is this one, and then decrease the value by 10 units, so it will be negative 20. Press clear, press this, negative 20. It depends on how many units you want to decrease, just to see the other side of the graph. Then, we can press the graph button again to see the graph of the function. As you notice, this is not yet the inverse of the function. Therefore, I am going to show you how to find it. You want to go back to the main screen by pressing the clear button on the keypad, and then go to the draw button by pressing the second button, and go to the button labeled as program or PRGM, because above it is the highlighted option of draw. Press it and then go down to where it says draw INV, short for draw inverse, or simply press 8. So I'm gonna press 8. So here you go. Then go to the button where it says VARS, or short for VARS. It is just on the right side of the PRGM program button. So this is the VARS button. So press it. And go to the YVARS tab by moving the right arrow button. And then press the function option or press 1. Now on the function option, it will give you a list of y1s to y10s. Do you remember that on the screen where you have to input a function before graphing it, you will notice that on the left side there are these labels named as y1 or y2. They are also another name for f of x in the graphing calculator, and you have to make sure which label did you input the function. In this case, we inputted the function at y1, and therefore on the screen we will press y1. Press enter again. And you can see that the inverse is now graphed, and therefore we have to adjust the screen again by going to the window button. Here's the clear view. So here's the better view of the original graph, which is f of x equals 1 over 9x squared plus 4 over 3x plus 4, and this is the inverse. Now we have just graphed the inverse, and it is time to determine whether or not it is a function. We will use a test called the horizontal line test. The objective of this test is to check whether or not there is a repetition of y values paired with different x values. If there is a repetition, then this inverse graph is not a function. Just by looking at it, I can see that the inverse is a function, because we both can see here that there is no repetition of y values, meaning the line does not go in the curve going up and down like a hill. So, this inverse graph is f raised to negative 1 of x is equal to 3 times parentheses negative 2 plus or minus the square root of x. And its domain is all x values such as that it is greater than or equal to 0, and its range is all real numbers. Overall, we have now found the original and inverse graph of the function, determined whether the inverse is a function, or not by using the horizontal line test and identify the domain and range of the inverse graph. And our problem is solved.